Hi, my name is Monica, your OET teacher for today. Now, if you want to understand how we answer this question, then you need to watch the full entire video. But if you only want to get to the correct answer choice, then please skip right ahead towards the end of this video. You'll find the answer. Now, let's answer this question. The question is saying, what is the writer's main purpose in the paragraph? Basically, whatever the writer is doing, what is his main purpose behind doing this? And I want you to notice the word the writer has used here, main. Whenever we use the word main, we are trying to say what is the main, chief, key, principal, most important, whatever, idea, reason, anything. And whenever you get this kind of question, what do we do with it? How do we answer this question? What things do we need to keep in mind? Well, when dealing with such kind of question, first of all, please understand, you can get this question in these forms. They can ask you about main idea, what is the main point, what is the main purpose, what is the chief key principle, all of those things, which tell you that I'm looking for the most important thing. If I use the term most important, it means that there could be one or more than one ideas. There could be multiple ideas, multiple points, multiple purposes. What I am looking for is which one is the most important, right? If I want to figure out, let's say now I know this is the question type, I've understood the question type, but how do I answer this? How do I figure out something is the most important idea in the paragraph if they are discussing multiple ideas there, right? That's possible. In order to understand that, we have to follow 3 essential steps, or 2.5 steps, actually. The first thing is please identify the different ideas in the paragraph, because if you are not able to identify one paragraph's idea from the other idea, then you will think everything is the same. So you should be able to identify, okay, this is one idea. They have now moved on from this idea to this idea. So basically, you know how to answer just like we answer a just question. The second step, you want to check or you want to be on the lookout of language. What do I mean by language? Because try to imagine a conversation with me, right? In that conversation, I want to highlight that something is really, really important, right? What can I do? I can either use the language that, let's say, Priya, this is the most important thing you need to keep in mind. So Priya would go, okay, she has talked to me for 10 minutes, but Monica ma'am has told me this is the most important thing that I need to do. So she has used the term most important. So this becomes the most important thing. Similarly, I can use any other vocabulary in my paragraph that tells me that this is very, very important. This idea that we are discussing here, it could be crucial, it could be essential. These are just some examples I'm giving you. Now, apart from language, is there any other way for me to show you that something is important? Yes, if I'm having a conversation with you for 15 minutes, but in that conversation, I mention one particular topic about 4 or 5 times, you're automatically going to think, to this person, this particular topic is very important because she has already mentioned it so many times. So if I want to remind you that something is important, I will keep on mentioning it again and again, or I will mention it more than the other things that I have discussed. In our case, I will mention that idea, that point of view, that specific thing more than all the other ideas, all the other things that are being discussed in the paragraph, right? So I am essentially going to be looking for repetition. That repetition can be in 2 forms. It can be either how much or how many times. By basically saying how many times, it means that if I mention 3 ideas, in these 3 ideas, which particular idea have I mentioned more than once compared with the other ones? If I mention 3 ideas, all once, but one idea is being repeated more than once, then that becomes my main idea. Similarly, how much is also telling me that, let's say there are only 2 ideas. Ma'am, now I'm confused. There are only 2 ideas. Which one is the most important one? I couldn't find the language. What do I do? Well, you simply check that if the two ideas are being discussed, which idea, which part is actually being discussed more? By more, I mean which section is actually taking more space in the paragraph, right? You have one idea which is being discussed in 5 sentences. You have another idea which is being discussed in only 2 sentences. And in those 2 sentences, you don't see any language or any other crucial markers that tell you that this is the important idea. Then that's how you know. So basically, in terms of repetition, we check which one is being discussed more than the other. Once again, remember, if you want to identify or how to answer questions about main idea, how to answer, identify different ideas, check which one is being discussed more or which one is being highlighted as more important by using this language. Now let's get back to our question. Right. What is the main purpose, a writer's main purpose in the paragraph? So right away, the writer is using an important word called a hallmark study. So hallmark study tells me that this is an important study. Then the writer says the hallmark study revealed new insights. So new insights, something we didn't know before, into the physiological mechanisms of PEM, demonstrated or proving damaged skeletal muscle in people with long COVID. Okay. The damage that worsened with exercise. Okay, so they've highlighted something with the important study, the longitudinal nature of their approach. Longitudinal nature, that's a long-term study of their approach, was especially significant. Look at the word especially, particularly important. Underscoring, highlighting, proving specific physiological and metabolic pathologies that drive PEM, which they have mentioned, by the way, here as well. When they said this, that's physiological mechanisms, and then they have mentioned these again here, that drive PEM, and related exercise intolerance that they also mentioned here as well. When they said that it worsened with exercise, that means it is not tolerated. Exercise intolerance. So I see the same thing being repeated here. I see the same thing being repeated here. Obviously, this is important. It has implications, warning against. So we are warning against. This is also a very strong word that they're using here. So I would like to highlight this. It's warning against graded exercise as a therapeutic approach. Graded exercise as a therapeutic approach in people with long COVID in this. So good thing for me is that in this entire paragraph, they haven't talked about any different idea. They have continued with one idea from the beginning. They have said that we conducted a study. It was a very, very important study, and we found something new. What was the new thing that they found? That the damaged skeletal muscle in people with long COVID, it became worse with exercise. And then they have told me what kind of worsening effects are we talking about, and why was it important? Because the study significantly underscored the specific these symptoms, these two here, these issues here, and related exercise intolerance. So intolerance that is happening when people are doing this, and they are trying to warn me against using graded exercise as a therapeutic approach. They are basically saying that, listen, this is not a therapeutic approach. You shouldn't try this. Don't exercise with long COVID. That's it. Don't exercise. So that's the general idea. Now let's get to our answer choices. Never choose an answer option if you haven't eliminated all three. Remember. Now, answer option A, to highlight. The writer's main purpose is to highlight concerns about a proposed treatment for long COVID. There is a proposed treatment. My question is, when I say that something is a proposed treatment, then that means I am saying that you can possibly use it as a treatment, and the person is then highlighting concerns about it. My issue is with the word proposed treatment. They haven't proposed it as a treatment, but because they are saying they're warning against graded exercise as a therapeutic approach, I could possibly understand it. And they have concerns about it. Yes, it could have implications. I have no problem with concerns. I am only not very convinced with proposed treatment, but it can still be the right answer. I'm just going to check the remaining areas because it is still a form of treatment when they're calling it an approach. Let's see. To explore, to find out, to check out how exercise can aid. No, exercise is not actually helping recovery from COVID. In fact, it is doing the opposite. So answer B is actually going in a different direction. It's complete opposite. It's wrong. I know right away B is wrong. Then to compare different rehabilitation approaches, they have only talked about exercise. They haven't talked about multiple approaches here. So I know right away that this is going to be wrong, different rehabilitation approaches, because they have only talked about one approach, singular. So no, this is wrong. Then I have D answer option. See, if I was able to eliminate B and C very, very quickly, then that means I am going to be confused between A and D answer option. That's just how it is. Let's check. So here, to emphasize the role of physical activity, in other words, exercise in managing symptoms. But managing symptoms is the same as me treating them or controlling them, I think. But exercise is something that they're warning against graded exercise as a therapeutic approach. They don't want you to use it as a therapy. I knew the answer option is incorrect. Now, so far, if you have liked the video, then please like and subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends so that I keep on making more such videos. Coming back to the answer option, we have eliminated B, C, and D answer choices because they go against our paragraph's idea, which is saying that, listen, we have some issues. What are those issues? Well, these are the issues: physiological and metabolic pathologies that drive PM, right? We're having some issues with that. The longitudinal, this was important. So I would still be okay with this line now when I'm saying a proposed treatment. So they are going to be saying this, that listen, if you're thinking of taking exercise as a treatment, don't. So answer option A becomes the right answer because I have eliminated all three answer options with 100% certainty, which is why even if I am doubtful about a certain thing, I can still choose it to be my right answer. That's all for today. See you next time.